And we have a next speaker in this section. And ladies and gentlemen, the following speaker is Miss Laura Palau López, Project Manager at Hospital Clinic de Barcelona. Her lecture is titled CARTALLEU, Characteristics of a European Academic Manufacturing Model, Proof of Concept. In this presentation, she will discuss decentralized academic CAR-T manufacturing and the regulatory complexity of implementing multinational manufacturing networks across Europe. Ms. López, please, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, and thanks for the invitation in this conference. It's an honor to be here with you. Sorry. I know this slide has been previously showed, but I would like to outline the message that only a small fraction of eligible patients is currently treated, and we need to get to expand this access to therapy because it remains challenging. The current model of manufacturing is centralized, so it has some limitations such as delays in distribution, cost inefficiencies despite the scaling up production, and also inabilities to meet rising demand. That's why new strategies are arising right now, such as fully decentralized model, which is the meaning of point of care as such, and also hybrid models, which combine the point of care and also distribution of the product. Oh, sorry about that. I'm going back. This can make potential advantages, such as reduced logistical delays, also potentially lowest production costs, and as well could speed up patient access. But obviously, it also brings its own challenges, such as maintaining consistent product quality across all the sites, also ensure regulatory compliance, and at the end as well, to get the approval from our regulatory agencies and the reimbursement of the therapy. Oh, sorry about that. So now I would like to present the CARTALLEU study, in case you don't know it. It's a phase 2 multinational single-arm clinical trial that evaluates the efficacy and safety of Barcel for the treatment of adult patients with relapsed and refractory acute lymphoblastic leukemia. This is a MR requirement for the RE1 centralized marketing authorization, which asks us to increase the sample size and also to include patients outside Spain. So to achieve this, we proposed a model of decentralized manufacturing, which includes these 5 different countries with different models, as we talked before. One includes a point of care model and also hybrids that can, sorry, I can point out, but in France, for example, have manufacturing sites that distribute to infusion sites. The project is funded by the 4 national cancer associations participating in the track funding call, and I would like to present all of them because they are much appreciated. This corresponds to the 4 countries involved. In case of Spain, we have the Asociación Española contra el Cáncer, and it was the main applicant is obviously Dr. Julio Delgado, who is also the investigator coordinator. In Belgium, Kom op tegen Kanker, sorry for the pronunciation. And when we have Nathalie Cools and Sébastien Anguille as the main applicants. Also Foundation ARC in France, EFS with Christophe Soler as the main applicant and Etienne de Guindos from Besançon. We also have 2 more sites, Lyon Sud with Marie Balsat and Nancy with Maria Thérèse Rubio. And in the Netherlands, KWF with Tom van Merten as main applicant and Susan van Dorp as Dutch partner. And also because KWF is the largest contributor in this grant, enables the inclusion of an external site in Austria, in this case, MedUni in Vienna, with Nina Borel as principal investigator. So as said, thanks to the attract call, we are able to conduct this international clinical trial, which will be the confirmatory for the RE1 marketing authorization. But the characteristic is that funding is national, so cannot cross borders. And this creates a structural limitation for the implementation of this multinational clinical trial. In addition, or ironically, the sponsors country is the one receiving the least funding, so restricts even more the capacity to coordinate and support activities abroad. And because the model of the centralized manufacturing relies on, requires comparability studies, this adds an additional layer of difficulty. But of course, this coordination and operational complexities need to be reported every year in the annual monitoring meeting of the funders, with the funders. So from 2024 that we get the grant, what we have done so far in these 2 years. So we already conducted 2 scientific advice, both with the Quality Innovation Group from the EMA and with our national regulatory authority. We also have several agreements that already are in final review, but this, to be honest, this is the most limiting and is the most, the step that is causing the delays. We also are performing different assessment with all the facilities, and this will allow us to prioritize which one can be submitted in the initial submission of the clinical trial, because obviously 5 at the same time is not possible to comparability studies, so we have to prioritize one in front of another. And we expect to have 3 of these countries to be presented in the clinical trials initial submission, but obviously the remaining 2 will be in an amendment, substantial amendment in a later stage. We also are doing tech transfer, and we are doing so step by step because we also have different steps of the manufacturing process. And we have, thanks to Eurogicity, an investigator portal and also a logo. This is a view of the website, and it's live from, I think it's 1 year so far, May 2025. And coming up during this 2026, we will carry on the quality control test, which needs a previous step, that is cytometer standardization. We also carry on the validation runs, 1 first engineering run, and also the 3 required by the EMA. And with all of these comparability data will be included in the final report and will allow us to update the quality IMPD. Sorry. And here we hope to do so before the end of the year to make the initial clinical trial submission. This is the strategy that we presented in the scientific advice. All of the sites should and must be compared with Hospital Clinic of Barcelona as a central site. And obviously, as we said, we are not able to do all at the same time, so we will prioritize depending on the assessment and the status of the manufacturing site. And this also will be done thanks to the new software developed that we are doing at the site, and will allow us to do follow-up in real time, and also for the quality release. Also, because they are going to circulate apheresis, speed-off apheresis, we have to take into account the regulation of the substance of human origin. And in top of all of this, not only for manufacturing, but for monitoring and other operational clinical trial, we need to, we have own group to do the global management and coordinate other local CROs. We will have as well agreements with other other participating sites that are not only manufacturers, but all as well recruiters and infusers. We will have to take into account as well the GMO's authorization, because it's needed for manufacturers to have the confined use approval in a national, but also the sponsor will submit the approval to get approval for the clinical trial. We also issue periodic global newsletters that will update for all participant sites, because it's true that at the beginning is the process is being made by all manufacturers, but infusers and other participant sites needs to be updated what is doing all this time. And obviously we support to anyone that requires our help for production, quality issues, or anything that can arise in the meantime. And as said, this has to be reported to the founders every year. So the next one is in July of this year, and we will inform about the scientific advice and the results, also the planned dates for the new submission date, because it has been delayed. And hopefully we will have all the agreements signed by then, and also quality controls finished, and at least one run per country already done as well. So obviously, I would like to thank all of these collaborators, not only in Spain, but abroad, the Netherlands, Belgium, France, Austria, together with the strong support of patient advocacy groups such as Alan and of Eurogicity, who help us communicate and disseminate information. The logos shown here represent only one entity, but the number of contributing teams and people, individuals, is much larger, such as this. So really, I want to thank all investigators I'm in contact with, technicians, supporting teams that represent here, for their commitment for their commitment to make accessible RE1 therapy a European reality. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Ms. López, for very nice presentation, very concrete.